This time on Sailing Vessel MiG, you get to learn how our awesome monitor wind vane, Charles Vane, works. And later, so I remember when I was getting ready to go on this voyage, I had never used a monitor wind vane or any wind vane self-steering. And I would look up how to do it, and it's very hard to find good videos on how to set it up and stuff. So this is how we have it set up on North Sea 27 right now. This little line that's underneath the tiller is just holding up the tiller, keeps it from riding on here back and forth. And we've just discovered that if we put some bar soap on it, it doesn't squeak, makes very pitiful sounds. And I'll show you something else up here in just a minute. These are the control lines that control the monitor in the back, and they are attached on my boat to these little blocks that are attached to my boxes that I've made for my spare water jugs. And they come across and they're attached to the tiller right here with these little quick cam cleats. That little thing on top is for the autopilot, and we have mounted that ourselves, and we made it all ourselves, and it works pretty good. Norman on Evie May put those two little cam cleats underneath, and so what they do then on his boat is they act as what I'm having to do here. They pull the tiller up and hold it up. He also has the blocks hooked up higher on these bars going across here. And unfortunately, I didn't do it that way. I wish I had, because it would work a lot better than this. But this works. See, the pressure of those, though, is pulling the tiller down, and that's why I have to have this silly string across here. So the control lines go back, and they cross in the back underneath the generator back there. And our wind vane, I'll go back there now and show you. Got quite the spider web of stuff back here. But it's a small boat, so we had to fit everything. So the monitor is right here, and we have two blades for this. And I did have to, our large light air blade, I had to shrink it down a little bit, cut a little off the top because of the arch up here. We are restricted a little bit in motion of turning that because of these two bars from our arch back there. But just a little bit. There's only a little bit of motion that we can't, little area we can't sail. And then our line that comes right here and attaches right there goes back to a wheel underneath there. You can see it. Goes back to a wheel back there, right there. And that that line changes the direction of the wind paddle itself. Changes the direction of the wind paddle so that you can set the wind angle to what you want for the course you're on. And as you can see, as that little paddle moves side to side in the wind, it steers the servo pendulum, which steers the rudder down there, the little auxiliary rudder. And it's very easy to pull it up. There's a little disconnect down there that you can pull, and then you just pull up that line that's trailing back there. You just pull on it, and it'll raise that tiller out of the water, or that rudder out of the water, and then you can go back to your autopilot or hand steering or whatever. So that's the way we have this set up on Sailing Vessel MiG. Norman's is set up almost identical. Little changes that are actually better than mine. This little arch that I built is really great. It's held up under a lot of nasty weather so far. I am going to weld all the seams they're basically put together with those Tinker Toy things right now, which have worked great, but I'm gonna weld it. I'm gonna get it welded. I'm not gonna do it myself, but then it'll be very secure. So after many iterations and different, I tried like a 2-pulley thing here. I decided I wanted this thing lifted so it's hanging instead of resting against something, because it was rubbing everything. It would just rub a hole right in whatever it was. So this is what I ended up with. A line going across here, tightened with 3 purchase block and tackle, basically, and a frictionless ring, and that is just tied to the tiller so you can quickly untie it. But it slides just beautifully now. No friction, no mess. It works really good. So that's the key that we've been looking for keeping the tiller off of the hatch cover and making it so that it slides really nice back and forth, and it does now. It works great. So I'm pretty proud of this little thing myself. I did that this morning, and Norman calls it my buzzing bee when I start buzzing around doing little projects like that. I fix lots of little things, come up with better ways to do stuff, but it takes time. Some of you might have noticed that we do not have a roller furling head sail, and so we have to hank all of our head sails on. So we have a variety of head sails. We have our big drifter sail, we have a spinnaker, and then we have the working jib, which has a couple of reefs in it, so we can reef it down. And then we have the little sail that we use a lot called Baby. She used to be our storm jib, but now she's basically our heavy weather jib. We use her a lot. And then, of course, we have our little storm jib that we had made for us in Hawaii. We have not had to use the storm jib yet. It's very small and only for probably 40 knots of wind or more. We got a little Baby sail up right now. We use Baby a lot. It used to be our storm jib, but now it's actually just our smallest jib. It was always a little big for a storm jib, even though it got us through a few gales. Now we have a true little storm jib. But Baby still is she's our kind of go-to little jib. I wanted to talk a little bit about that with you guys. I sail a little differently than probably most people. I am a very, very conservative sailor. I am not in any hurry. I don't push the boat at all. And so I tend to be reefed more than probably anybody else I know, because I'd rather go slow and not break anything on the boat. And the motion of the boat is more comfortable. It just takes us a few days longer to get somewhere, and that's okay with me. Hey, good morning. Pretty early in the morning here. It's about 6 a.m. I just came on watch. Blowing pretty good this morning, and we're expecting more wind today. So we've reefed a little early. We've got our 4th reef in our main, the new one that we just made, the new 4th reef, and our little Baby sail up. Not our storm jib, but our Baby sail. Yeah, that's the situation this morning. It's day 11 today. A little tired this morning. I'm just coming up on watch right now, but these are pretty good sized seas rolling in here, so we're rocking back and forth pretty good. It's too hot to cook down below. It's just I keep trying to make stuff that I can cook really quick. I'm really envious of those people that just have a jet boil, like Garrett and Sam Holmes, some of those guys. I think it would be nice to be able to just move my stove out into the cockpit with a little gimbal and cook with a jet boil rather than heating everything up with this stove. I may get one anyway at some point here just because it's so much easier. And really, I just don't feel like doing any in-depth cooking. You know, having the option to do so is nice, but yeah, we're almost to 10 degrees from the equator. We're getting pretty close. The lowest latitude I've ever been sailing is about 6 degrees, which was when we left Panama on Wandering Dolphin and we headed for Hawaii. We went first from Panama right around the corner to Costa Rica. And so when we're passing a reef up here called Kingsman Reef. When we get to that point, I will be at the latitude that I was as far the south I've ever been. It'll be nice to get down to lower than that. That'll be kind of a cool milestone. We'll see how the mic works with this wind blowing, because it's really blowing today. We're on day 12, sailing to Samoa, and we have our new fourth reef in our main put up, and our little baby sail. That fourth reef really stabilizes the boat a lot in this stuff. That one got me wet. Look at this one coming. Just big old waves. Breaking tops. Puts them in a whole different category when the tops are breaking like that. Our cockpit combings are doing very well, keeping it much drier in here. Obviously, they can't keep the waves from crashing over the top and into the cockpit. We just took a giant wave over the boat. We are been in this gale for the last 24 hours or so. Started as just kind of a little blow, but now it's really intensified, and I don't know if we're also down near the doldrums at about 8 degrees north of the equator. And I think what's happened is maybe we're hitting some squalls at the same time, which locally intensifies the wind and the waves. It's kind of scary, actually. That last wave broke into the forward cabin and the aft cabin. Norm took a bucket right on his lap. Came through the companionway here, even with the Dodger and everything up. It came right through and drenched the stove and all that area with water, and that's where all the electronics are. Unfortunately, it's the only place for them. I haven't opened up to see. I pumped the bilge, but I haven't opened up to see if there's also any water damage down under in the engine compartment, the battery compartment, or not yet. It's just too dark right now, and it's just bouncing too much. I would have to move a bunch of stuff out to get in there. I did contact Richard, and he's checking the weather for me right now. He woke up in the middle of the night at home. He's checking to see what's up and how long we're going to be in this stuff. Just thought I'd let you guys know what's going on. Seems like we can't get out of this stuff. Norman thinks he just follows Meg around. I don't know. Alright. I'll keep you updated as I find out more here.